The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up. Ready. 10, touchdown. 51. It's been a long day for you. Kill, go.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
6 guys.
Prescott to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 49 the mic.
3rd and long for Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Seahawks take over the second and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try the left side. Bentley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Get him. Check.
They'll start the drive with Elliott.
Go.
That good for 22 and a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Check 24.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On first down, Bentley. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. What? Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Cowboys take over
Let's go,
first
baby.
and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott, and he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
I got you, boy. Right there, 54, right? Silver. Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike, 50.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Being chased out left. He'll run it. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
We got 6.
Russell Wilson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down now. It's Elliott. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Prescott now. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go!
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up.
And again, it's Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
From the gun, it's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slapped. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Jonathan Allen busting through to get him for a loss of 6. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now a give, right side. Bentley, and he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. If they can't come up with something here, they're looking at a quick 3 and out.
Well, guess what? You get the ball in the hands of your best player to his favorite play and try and salvage something out of this drive. Now, of course, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're thinking the exact same thing. So they better provide him some help on this one.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. They run the counter. Bentley, and he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A full 40 yards that time on 3rd down as the chains move with a lot of room to spare. From the red zone now, Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Here's Wilson. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
56.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
I'm coming after you.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21. All day, baby, all day, all day.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, it's complete to Hopkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Mike to the flat. 21, check Mike 21. Squeeze. It's our field.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hodges. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Prescott. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And the catch made by Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Check three.
Prescott from the gun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Shift! Watch the shift!
66, bullet, half.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
49.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott, escaping the pressure right. Got his man, that's Harry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Elliott. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try again with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Point after up and good, and that'll make our score 14-7. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw is Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 2 yards, good enough for a first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A first down throw for Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Here we go. 36. Check.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 3rd and short yardage. Prescott. Catch is made by Harry. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain of 22. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st down, Taylor. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run with Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Come on here. Come get some.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. It's a foot race. The 30, 20, 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't. because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Seahawks, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss, and they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.